And we are going to build a younger, darker, hipper, fresher, sneaker-wearing labor movement.
Hi, love. Here are 3 ways to disrespect your elders.
The church in America is going to suffer so terribly. And we laugh now, but they will come after us. They will come after our children.
Kamala's record, he's mocking her name and her laugh. Sounds familiar. But we have him on the run now.
We face a race that tests if this country we cherish shall perish from the earth, and if our earth shall perish from this country.
There are people who want you to see our country as a nation of us against them. People who want to scare you, who want to rule you. People who'd have you believe that books are dangerous.
Big argument, you know. Big, you lose a fight.
You cannot love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business.
The Democrats are the party of the oligarchy. Can you name one tech CEO outside of Elon Musk that is a conservative?
Recently, at the Democratic National Convention, the DNC ended on Thursday, and it was full of evil and even demonic things. Let's take a look at some of the most concerning things that took place, progressing to the most shocking one at the end. One of the things that was put on full display at the DNC was that people with liberal political views are very divided. This was shown by all of the protests relating to the war in Gaza. These protesters see the Democratic Party as profiting from or being a cause of the war. I'm not really sure what the protesters think they are going to accomplish, but they are acting absolutely horribly.
Big argument, you know. Big, you lose a fight. Your face is up, big. You look up, big. I hate you. Go home, get a real job. God, you're God, you are so pathetic. Get a job.
And I hope you have nightmares about the people in the Chicago police camp. You're getting a check to keep silent about police.
It's likely that even though these people hate the police, they would still call them if someone broke into their house. The entitlement and ignorance is extremely evident, and it's all coming from a man dressed like a woman. One of these protesters even got inside the convention to pull this underwhelming stunt. I wonder if she left the place thinking that she actually accomplished something. The whole thing seemed like one giant virtue signal. The things inside the DNC were just as evil, if not worse, than the things outside the DNC. According to Libs of TikTok, Jeffrey Marsh, a TikTok influencer who often targets his content towards children, was invited to be a featured guest. This is unspeakably evil. Just watch him as he tries to openly corrupt young children.
Hi, love. Here are 3 ways to disrespect your elders. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic parent or a bullying boss at work, you need to 1. Play innocent. There's some sort of secret code or language they're using to try to get you to do what they want, and all you need to do is ask, what do you mean? I don't get it. Could you explain that? Be innocent.
So not only has he not been cancelled, but he has been invited to be a special guest at the DNC. It's completely outrageous, and it gets even worse.
Number 2, feel no guilt. Bullies and narcissists use guilt as leverage, and if you refuse to feel guilty, it doesn't matter what you do or what they do or say.
So parents who try to make their children feel guilty are narcissists and bullies. Feeling guilt can actually be a healthy thing and stop people from doing evil. This advice is completely disgusting and harmful to children. There is no doubt that these people are a force for evil and wickedness. We should be praying for them so that they would repent and be saved, and so this country would not perish altogether.
The church in America is going to suffer so terribly. And we laugh now, but they will come after us. They will come after our children. They will close the net around us while we are playing soccer mom and soccer dad. While we are arguing over so many little things and mesmerized by so many trinkets, the net even now is closing around you and your children and your grandchildren, and it does not cause you to fear.
The actual speakers of the DNC were just as bad as you might expect. According to this woman, we're looking forward to a hipper and darker young generation that wears sneakers.
And we are going to build a younger, darker, hipper, fresher, sneaker-wearing labor movement.
The fact that everyone is cheering for this is kind of weird. So our hope as a nation is in having less white people and more black people who wear sneakers? That's an odd message and everyone is buying it completely. Hillary Clinton also spoke and received one of the most energetic responses I have ever seen. The applause goes on for 2 entire minutes. And then she goes on to say how they've got Donald Trump on the run.
Kamala's record. He's mocking her name and her laugh. Sounds familiar. But we have him on the run now.
It's hypocritical how conservatives get called fascists when the other side is quite literally trying to lock up the former president. Speaking of being hypocritical, AOC also spoke at the convention and was very animated to say the least.
And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a 2-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots that breathe, trampling on our way of life.
This is really a strange statement to make, considering how horrible the economy and inflation has been for working-class Americans for the last 4 years. And her enthusiasm seems to be making her speak like she is saying something profound, when she isn't actually saying anything at all.
This country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business.
This has got to be the most hypocritical statement made at the DNC. The vast majority of billionaires in this country are on the left and want Kamala Harris to become president. Charlie Kirk explains this really well.
The richer you are, the more likely you are to be a Democrat and on the left.
Explain that to me, please.
The numbers speak for itself. The Democrats are the party of the oligarchy. Can you name one tech CEO outside of Elon Musk that is a conservative?
I personally think Peter Thiel?
Yeah, that's one. That's one. Larry Page, Google, on the left, worth $120 billion. Sergey Brin, Google, $130 billion on the left. Laureen Jobs, Mackenzie Bezos, Jeff Bezos.
It's not that there isn't corruption on both sides, but it's undeniable that the left is the party of the richest class in America. And really quickly, if you want to support this channel and help spread biblical truth to more people, I would be so grateful if you would click that subscribe button. Watch as Charlie continues to make this case.
Mark Zuckerberg gave $400 million in the 2020 election to help get Joe Biden reelected through the Center for Technology and Civic Life. Mackenzie Bezos.
That helps his case, obviously. He would donate money to his...
Oh, okay, but hold on, one second. Mackenzie Bezos with $45 billion, major Biden backer. Laureen Powell Jobs worth $20 billion, Steve Jobs' widow, one of the most radical left-wingers in the Emerson Collective. Mark Benioff from Salesforce worth $12 billion, one of the most radical left-wing guys that you'll see out there. The eBay guy, Omador, one radical left-wing.
I don't agree with Charlie Kirk on everything, but he says it extremely well here. The left really is the party of the oligarchy, while they make it seem like they are the party of the working class.
It's so important for you on the left. You guys are being scammed and gamed because they talk a good game about building the middle class, but it is not the party of democracy. It's the party of oligarchy. And you can go fact check me tonight, and you might actually have cognitive dissonance. Type in this: wealthiest counties in the country. They almost all vote for Joe Biden. Who gives the most political donations to the left? All the wealthy people. Go look up the top billionaires on the Forbes list, the top 100. Only about 10 of them give the Republican, the other 80 give the Democrat, the other 10 don't give it all. It is mind-blowing when you realize the shift in power the last 10 years.
So how is it that AOC can be so confident when she says what she said?
You cannot love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business.
Speaking of Charlie Kirk, he actually went to the DNC. How do you think he was treated?
Donald Trump tried to undermine our Constitution.
You're intent. I just walked in. I'm here to just learn.
You're an anti-patriotic, anti-constitutional person crashing our party because you tried to stop our democracy.
I got one question.
Donald Trump called the Secretary of State of Georgia and told him to find him some votes.
What is a woman?
Oh my God. That is so weird, y'all. Maybe you should meet one.
I'm married to one.
Same.
Right when Charlie asked the man what a woman is, he ran away. It's weird to ask what a woman is when the definition is being questioned by so many people in this country. Is it really weird to ask that question when men are using women's restrooms and playing women's sports? Another famous person who made an appearance was Oprah Winfrey. For many years, she has been viewed as a voice of reason in the media, but now it's clear that she is anything but that.
There are people who want you to see our country as a nation of us against them, people who want to scare you, who want to rule you, people who'd have you believe that books are dangerous.
The only books that conservatives are warning about are books in children's libraries that have explicit pictures and sex-related content. Even if the conservatives were wrong to be concerned about that, which they are not, wouldn't it still be admirable to be worried about what our children are consuming? Or is she saying that we just shouldn't question what they read and accept it no matter what?
Who want to rule you, people who'd have you believe that books are dangerous and assault rifles are safe, that there's a right way to worship and a wrong way to love.
Assault rifles in and of themselves are not safe, but they're actually used to make our homes, valuables, and especially our children safe. And to say that there isn't a wrong way to love doesn't make much sense. God is love, and God defines love. And the DNC's definition of love is completely at odds with God's definition.
This is exactly what Isaiah talked about in chapter 5 when he said bitter has replaced sweet and everything is upside down and inside out and overturned. The things that we always consider to be good are now considered as evil, and the things that were evil are now good.
The strangest speaker is up next. This poet also spoke at Joe Biden's inauguration and is the most famous poet in our country. But listen to her poetry and judge for yourself how good it is.
We gather at this hallowed place because we believe in the American dream. We face a race that tests if this country we cherish shall perish from the earth, and if our earth shall perish from this country.
The Democratic Party is in favor of regressive and radical laws to stop fossil fuels, which will make American lives much more difficult. They want human beings to be subjugated to the earth, rather than the earth to be subjugated to human beings, as God commands in Genesis 1:26-28. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth.
Divided we cannot endure, but united we can endeavor to humanize our democracy and endear democracy to humanity.
How exactly does one humanize a democracy? Regardless, this speaker, like the rest of them, left without really saying anything of substance. Everything seemed very self-aggrandizing, arrogant, and vapid. Not only was there nothing of true substance at the event, but there was also a lot of evil. The idea of a bus outside of the DNC that gives women the ability to end the lives of their own children seems dystopian, but it really did happen.
Today, Planned Parenthood offered some of its services in a mobile clinic near the United Center. It was one of 7 locations in the city and suburbs opened during the DNC. The group providing free vasectomies, medication and emergency contraception. Yesterday and today, that van was parked just a few blocks from the UC. A spokesperson says one goal is to help people who are here from states where access to those services may be limited.
It is reported that 20 to 30 people were treated at the time of this video. This is pure evil and should be against the law. The culture of death has never been so proud of its own sin. If you want more proof of this, here is an irate woman who claims to have been paid to have an on stage.
How many abortions have you had? How many have you had? How many have you had today?
DNC. I'm getting paid by George Soros to have an abortion on the stage with no drug.
Which way are you going? Which way are you going?
What do you mean, which way?
Which side of abortion?
What kind of abortions are there, Jack?
There's pills, there's tools, number 8.
So it's going to be on stage. So a normal person would think that they would use tools, right? And vacuum it out and do all of that. Like if I took a pill that takes several days and nothing happens, you won't see anything. So you should probably study how female anatomy works.
This is probably a lie, but her vitriol and condescending attitude is the attitude of the Democratic Party, and that has been made clear by the DNC. Like we said before, we should be praying for these people to see their sin and have a holy fear of God. We should also remember that God is working out all of these things for good, and that even though we don't understand everything about what God is doing, He is in full control.
Persecution is always meant for evil, but God always means it for good. And is it not better to suffer in this life, to have an extra weight of glory in heaven. So your mind must be filled with the Word of God when all people persecute you and turn on you. And if the Spirit of God in common grace pulls back and you see even your children and your grandchildren tossing in the lot that you should die. This is no game. You want revival and awakening, but know this. For the most part, great awakenings have come only preceding great national catastrophes or the persecution of the church. I believe God is bringing a great awakening, but I believe that He is raising up young men who are strong in trust in the providence of God to be able to wade through the hell that's going to break loose on us. And it will be on us before we even recognize it.
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm a deacon, a husband, a father, a software engineer, and an amateur maker of videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to help me in my mission to spread biblical truth, just subscribe and watch these videos until the end, which will help the YouTube algorithm recommend these videos to more people. I'm committed to using the skills and gifts God has given me to glorify Him and communicate biblical truth. And I would be so grateful if you would come be a part of what I'm building. You can visit my website at joyfulexile.com to learn more about me and what I'm working on. I hope you're having a blessed day. I will see you in the next video. And remember, this world is not our home.